So I was silent on this channel last week as part of the elevated melanated voices happening on social media. It was one of the things that people were doing along with Blackout Tuesday. At first I was mostly just over on Instagram participating and just trying to get information out as best as I could, promoting different Black artists, different people who are protesters, etc. and so forth, all in my stories, while also not posting any original content on there. As I kept doing that, I very quickly realized that, well, my biggest platform that I have is here on YouTube, so something needed to be made for over here as well. I didn't post anything original last week for that reason, and this is the first video I'm coming back with because Black Lives Matter. I will be putting the comments on this video into, they have to be approved by me because I do not want any racist bullshit. I won't tolerate it, and I don't want anyone viewing my channel to have to experience that when there are probably people who are going through so much already. I have been taking the last week along with promoting other people that are often silenced or looked over or pushed to the side so many times before. I am also trying to educate myself, directing my magic and my energies towards the protections of others, and really just trying to keep up with the avalanche that is what in the world is going on. My country, my city, around the whole world at this point. And I think it's important that when, no matter what platform you have, big, small, you know, this YouTube channel is nothing amazing by viewing standards, but I have a platform and I wanted to use it as best as I could. I will be putting down below a whole bunch of Black businesses you can support, a bunch of Instagram links to some Instagram accounts that have a bunch of different Black art, along with, of course, petitions, places to donate. And then, of course, if you are able, please look into a way that you could protest in the streets if that is something you are able to do. This is not something that I think anyone should be ignoring. I keep seeing this one post going around. I will put it here. It is pretty much sums this up perfectly. Witches and pagans have been persecuted and oppressed, and a huge amount of that also comes from that so many different pagan gods are gods of different cultures, that are majority people of color. And to claim the word witch and then to not stand up for other people who are oppressed and persecuted, I think is irresponsible and not really being true to the word. I believe there's more than enough in this universe for so many people to prosper, and very clearly what we have in the current system that we are operating in is not doing even nearly an adequate job. It is so subpar, and so there have to be large systematic changes. It is good that people are being charged for the horrible things that they have done. It is good that police officers who violate the law and who are hurting people are getting actual consequences for that. But as I've seen in every city, there is so many cases of the police stepping out of bounds, of violating people's rights. And one of the things that I would impart to you guys, along with checking out all the links I'm going to put in the description, is it can be very overwhelming to be watching the news right now and see all the craziness going on, and you don't know necessarily what to do. Especially if this is your first time engaging in something politically and fighting for rights, it can be difficult to take in all this media and not know where to start, not know, I guess, where your place is and things. And the best bet is just to start doing things. There are petitions to sign, things you can look into educationally. There are so many lists out there right now. You can donate if you don't have any sort of large financial resources, as so many people don't right now because we are still in a pandemic. I will put a link to some playlists also in the description box down below, which all of their AdSense is being donated to different charities and organizations. So you just watching that, having it on in the background just so they can get the views, take ad blocker off, you know, just have them playing in the background. You can even mute them if you want, just so that they have some money going in. That's something you can do. One thing that I have found that seems to work the best for me at the current moment is really focus on my local situation. I am keeping up with the Portland protests as best as I can. I am reading my local newspaper and watching my local news channels and then checking to see how accurate they are with the things people are posting on social media. I am looking up all of the local representatives I have. Who is the DA? Who are the people in charge of any sort of oversight of the police? Who are the people in charge of who gets money where? The funding for the police? Who are the people who approve what? Looking into every local representative I can that could have anything to do with how we can reform our city. And I'm writing them all letters. I'm looking to see if they have said anything. Have they stood up? Have what they said been contradicted by what I've seen from people posting different videos and their experiences while they're out there protesting? Along with, of course, donating to things like Black Lives Matter nationally and things like that. Focusing at least on Portland and on Oregon, where I currently live, has been, I think, extremely beneficial because it allows me to narrow in and hopefully see some way where I can make really direct progress. Local elections specifically can have a huge amount of change for how you live in your life and the people around you in your community live. It is so important to get out there and vote where you can, and that is another way where you can help to push this movement forward, because it can't just end when the people who murdered George Floyd are convicted and put behind bars. It can't just end when the people who murdered Breonna Taylor are put behind bars, or Ahmaud Arbery, or all of the hundreds, if not thousands, probably who the hell knows how many names out there have been hurt and not gotten their justice. The way to stop this is with great systematic change, and that's with our laws, with making sure that the people who are enforcing those laws are held accountable, whether that be the police or your representatives. And so that's what I'm really trying to focus to do. Please look into your local government and see what has been perpetrated within your city, because you might think that you're in a place where, well, that doesn't happen here, and it doesn't take that much research to find out how widespread these injustices really are. One of the things that I guess I'll just end on here is that the card that I pulled for this month was the Hangman. The month of June was, I always thought of it was, okay, a month of changing perspective. And with the pandemic and so much other things going on, I was still so much focused on myself and my energies, improving my life. It was such a me focus. And the main thing I've learned from this week is that card most definitely was probably pointing to the fact that I need to change my perspective and shift more to a community based, because it wasn't about me. It was about me looking to the community at large, see where I have failed, where I need to do better, where I need to speak up more, where I need to really get involved and take the time to do that work. No matter how awkward it is, no matter how hard it is, I need to do it. I encourage you all to take a hard look at yourselves to see where you may be ignoring your privileges, where you are maybe not doing something that you could be doing to help stand up for the people who have been screaming into the world for so long about how much they are hurting and never being heard. Also remember, in this time, please take care of yourselves. We can't pour from empty glasses, so take the time to fill yourself up, build your energy up, and then get back out there in any way that you can. Black Lives Matter. I think our whole society is kind of going through a full tower moment. It is flames and being struck by lightning and earthquakes, and it feels like we can be in free fall from what's going on. But I think because we have built so much of our society on white supremacy, that foundation itself needs to be cracked. We need to tear down the old and replace it with something that is beneficial for everyone, not just for those who are white like me. This can feel like a highly chaotic time, but chaos brings change, and it brings opportunity, and it brings a possibility that wasn't available to us before. And I have never seen the Tower card within tarot as something inherently negative. It was always a cleansing type of thing, something to come in and tear down what has not been already working for so long. And as we continue on, I think that's what 2020 is. It's a Tower year. It's a year that is going to show us that we cannot remain complicit in all of the ways that our system and the people around us and even ourselves are failing. We have to stand up and do more. We have to decide that there is another option and that we can go for that option. That we don't just have to say this is how it's always been and it's only going to get worse. Well, if we do nothing, yeah. But if we do something, if we stay loud, if we listen and realize where we have gone wrong, said wrong, done wrong, and adapt and then grow for ourselves, with our relationships with others, with society at large, then it actually is possible for us to build something way better together. But it's gonna take a lot of us. Anyway, that was this video. I hope you are all doing well. Again, Black Lives Matter. And I will see you guys in the next one.